single-handedly broke up my marriage. You're an awful person.
You're 24 years old. Why would I listen to you? Why would you be giving therapy and advice to people who clearly need it? It doesn't make any sense, Ari. This is a horrible idea.
You're listening to unlicensed therapy with Ari Mannis.
Anything to not hear my tinnitus.
What's tinnitus?
When you have a ringing in your ear that's constant.
Oh, how's it? There's no ringing, right? It's good.
I have tinnitus.
Yeah, but this isn't causing it.
No, I'm saying it might be good to mask it.
Oh, yeah. How'd you get that from the Navy?
Probably.
What'd you do? Just they put a lot of loud noises in
your ear? It's fucking loud on a ship.
Okay, let's go. I just need to do a breathing exercise to get into the interview mode because it's like I'm too low. I shouldn't have masturbated right before I got here.
What do you mean right before?
Like, I'll
in the car?
10:45 a.m.
Is that why you needed to?
I was masturbating.
Is that why you were going to be late?
No, because I texted you to be late before I started masturbating.
You asked.
I woke up in bed and I was like, I could use another half hour. You know, I wanted to rest a little more.
No, you asked for an extension so you could jack off.
That was maybe subconsciously.
That's a secret. You could keep that secret, man.
I don't have any secrets. I'm no filter, no holds back, open comedian. Open book comedian.
All right. Okay. List all the girls you want to fuck right now.
All the ones I want to?
On the air, though.
Every hot girl.
No, name
if they're attractive, I want to.
Name them by name.
Penelope Cruz.
No, not famous ones. People we know.
Oh, every hot girl. But I don't, honestly, people we know, I don't want to hook up with female comics. I mean, I would if they begged me to. But I try and keep it out of the family.
The family. Did you say if they begged me?
Yeah.
That's pretty strange.
A lot of girls beg me for it.
I don't know if that's true.
They look at me and they go, "Oh, Ari, please. You're all I want. You're all I've ever wanted." Is it when you have a haircut
or the way you look right now?
Are you saying I need a haircut?
I mean, we're both sweating pretty bad right now.
You don't like this little bush on top of my head?
No, I dislike it very much.
Wow.
I think you should do headshots like that, though.
Why?
So people can get the full effect.
I think I have headshots like this.
Did you let your hair grow out a bunch? Are we recording already?
I mean, it's rolling. Did I let my hair grow out a bunch?
I mean...
no, it's just all the barbershops are closed. They're doing outdoor things, and there's an hour and a half wait to get a haircut. This isn't because I like my hair like this. This is because I don't know what else to do.
I snuck in when they were open proper before they got shut down and got a haircut.
Open proper with masks, though.
Yeah. But I mean, you could go inside and it was air conditioned.
I'll do it outside. I don't care. It's just...
You just got to get an appointment. You can go over there and wait.
A lot of them are closed. Yeah, and a lot of them are closed still. So it's just there's a wait at all of them.
Shorties, you can just make an appointment. No wait.
I've never been an appointment guy. I've always been like, oh, I'll go get a haircut right now. And I walk over there, and if the line's over 20 minutes, I go to a different spot.
I barely became an appointment guy.
What made you do the
So many bad haircuts.
See, I don't even care about that. I'm like, it'll grow back.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about trying
You're married. Why would you care about a bad haircut?
Because you got to go to auditions and shit.
They like that.
I mean, I've looked pretty sloppy at times, but it's just so many. It's hard to describe like what haircut you want, you know? I don't know the business. I've gotten a haircut regularly over the years, but when I was in the Navy for 10 years, it was you just sit down and you get a haircut pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same haircut.
It's a fade or a high and tight for the Marine type people.
I left a yogurt in the car. Do you think that's okay for like an hour and a half? It'll be bad by the time it's over.
What kind of yogurt is it?
Like a drinkable smoothie yogurt.
I don't know. Some of those are not even really dairy products. So
no, it's a dairy yogurt, yeah.
I know, but some of them are called themselves yogurt. They have little to no dairy in them.
This one has dairy in it. This one's yogurt.
Is it Yoplait?
Yeah.
No dairy.
What do you mean no dairy? It's a fake
yogurt?
Dude. What is it then?
I mean, there are things like that. I don't know. You know how the food is these days?
Yoplait is the biggest yogurt manufacturer in the country. It's real yogurt. I made that up, but I think it is.
It's a weird pull.
I think it is.
I would.
Oh wait, sorry.
I would bet that Kraft or some shit owns Yoplait. Why don't you hang this bad boy up? Getting a little sloppy these days, huh?
Well, I
could've
should
brought-
hang it up.
I could have brought my tool bag.
Next time, or I'll pay you to do that. But the problem is, I have to take it down each podcast because other people use this space.
I just get a detachable.
It's heavy.
I
So I'd
know,
have
but
to
you can
put
do a bracket where it comes right off. No screws. It's a latch.
That sounds cool.
You know how the windows open with a latch? But they have screws like that, or bolts.
Oh, but then wouldn't the bolt show when it's off?
I thought you put another sign up or something.
Not everyone. See, that's the thing. Not everyone has their own sign. So then, if there's no sign up there, then you just see bolts. I've just been doing it like that.
Could just hang it.
Yeah, except that's just a light hanger, curtain rod.
No, I'm
That's a
talking about
heavy
from
sign.
the bracket that you have there.
Oh yeah.
that
Oh, that's
seems
a good
heavy
idea.
duty.
Yeah, maybe hang it. I was also here's what I was thinking. I was thinking get a new sign that's lighter, a shittier material, and then Velcro it on the wall.
But
when
then you
I
have
use
the
it.
black Velcro dots.
I'll get a white.
You don't
Velcro.
close this curtain for everyone else?
No, some people leave it open.
They just like the wall?
Yeah. They
So
like
there's
the
like
wall.
9 podcasts with your back wall.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's about the content, the subject matter, the interesting conversation about the back wall, not about the sign behind.
Oh, you're talking about there's no...
That's what people want.
What podcast do you know that's interesting?
I listen to this podcast called How I Built This with Guy Raz. It's on NPR. And he has really powerful business owners, people who started massive companies. Like, for example, he had the Burt's Bees person who started that.
The what?
The company Burt's Bees.
What is that?
It's like that
Oh, the chapstick?
chapstick.
Oh,
He had the lady who started that company on the podcast, and he goes through the story of that company. Or he had the founder of Dave's Killer Bread, like these kind of products you see everywhere that are obviously massive companies.
Yeah. You named 2 right off the bat that I barely know of. Are there
Dave's-
any real companies on this?
Dave's Killer Bread's a massive company.
I know, I believe you.
Oh, yeah. You never heard of Dave's Killer Bread?
I haven't.
You don't see it do you go grocery shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like always on the bread aisle.
I've been buying the same bread for a long time. I don't think I'm the target market.
What bread do you buy?
Just sourdough, Trader Joe's sourdough.
Oh, you go to Trader Joe's. They don't have it at Trader Joe's.
That makes sense. I go to Ralph's sometimes.
Yeah, they have it at Ralph's.
Dave's Killer Bread.
Another company he had is the founders of Airbnb.
Really?
Yeah.
That should be interesting,
Yeah.
especially for someone like you,
Why?
because you do it sometimes and you also get robbed.
I don't do it anymore because they changed the laws in Los Angeles.
How's your brother doing it?
He's doing it for a whole month.
Oh, so now it's all month by month?
There's no short-term rentals anymore, so you have to do it at least a month.
There's no short-term period?
Period.
Holy shit.
Unless you own the place and live there as your main residence, or if you... That's it. Yeah, you have to own the place.
Huh. Well, that's a bummer.
And then, as you know, my Turo career is over
You're having a
as
couple
well.
of bummers. That's what I was thinking. You've run into some problems.
Yeah.
The pandemic is not treating you well.
Pandemic is not.
All your business endeavors seem to be a little bit...
It's bleeding me dry.
The world functioning as normal, you need that.
Yeah. I am one of the people it has affected most, I think.
I think that...
And I'm still all right.
yeah.
I mean, define all right, but I'm not in low spirits because of it.
Yeah, but you're like a crazy person.
It is what it is. Why am I a crazy person?
You're just one of those people I know that are always impartial despite what's actually happening. So
That's true.
I assume you're
I'm
kinda
pretty
crazy.
level-headed. Yeah, I mean, how I got removed from Turo is kind of crazy.
that is really crazy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it though.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm not one to be trifled with.
What? I know what you're saying now. I said what too fast, but that's a sign of being crazy.
Is it crazy, or is it just saying, don't fuck with me?
I mean, everyone gets a bad review, man. You just got to take it easy.
I agree, but I'm also saying, probably shouldn't trifle with me.
Are you talking
Yeah.
to me? It sounds like you're talking to me.
Just whoever. Just saying. Leave a negative comment. See what happens.
Well, that's why Yelp's so powerful.
You're getting a lot of haters on the internet. I did that King and the Sting podcast.
What, Theo and
Brendan Shaw.
Okay.
And a lot of people commenting, Ari ruined the podcast.
What'd you say?
Ari sucks. I don't even know. I
mean,
don't remember.
To be polarized like that is actually better than being neutral.
It is?
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age. I mean, if you look at all media...
It seemed like more people thought I sucked, though, than liked me.
No, that's fine. I'm saying that's being polarized, or all the way to one side or the opposite side is better than just being on there and unnoticeable.
That's true. It's memorable. They'll look at me and they'll say, "Oh, I hate that guy."
Yeah.
They'll talk about me. Did you see the new guy? He sucked. I don't know. Is that better? That seems worse.
I don't think I'm saying it's better than going unnoticed.
I don't know if it is.
In this in the climate of now, like you see that very separate, very bipolar notions about everything get the most notice. So there's people that are splitting off into ultra liberal, ultra conservative.
Yeah.
Look at Owen Benjamin, for instance.
Oh my God.
He was kind
That's
of
next
neutral
level.
comedy. I know, but he went, let me
Ultra
just.
right, yeah.
And I think he did it on purpose.
You think he made a conscious choice? I'm going to do this and see what happens?
I think that he knows that would get some attention in some form, maybe way too far. And it's just those kind of things that get the most notice. Everyone just being kind of funny right down the middle. And this time is, where are they? Who are they? But if you say some crazy shit that leans very far one way or another,
Yeah, right.
opinion-wise, and people are like,
Oh, man. I got a new game plan now.
I mean, that's what a lot of
Go Trump.
yeah, you could do that.
Is that far right, right?
I don't know if that's super far right.
So what would be farther right than Trump?
Being racist, like
I can't do
I mean,
that.
being an ultra actual white supremacist. I don't
can't.
know much about
I'm
politics.
Jewish.
I know.
can't be
And then
a-
now you found it.
If I was a white supremacist Jew, that would be insane.
You would find a following because people are insane.
But then what do I do about my black friends?
Listen,
I'd have to give them up.
if you want to get the money you seek, you have to.
I'd have to give up my black friends?
I guess. No, but
I'm kind of a loyal guy.
That's good. And also
Yeah.
not racist, which is also very positive. I'm just saying that people seem to do that. You seem anything that's attention grabbing, whether it's what you really believe or not, if you say it in a certain way, you get the retweets, you get all that stuff.
What if I called my black friends ahead of time and said, hey, just so you know, I'm about to do this thing. It's a career move. I'm not actually racist, but I'm about to be really racist.
I think that they wouldn't understand. I think that you would start to lose friends. I'm just trying to think of better examples of that people know saying crazy. I mean, look in media rather, like an Alex Jones type who says, you know, Sandy Hook was a false flag event. You know, people that say this crazy.
Like almost conspiracy theorists.
I wonder. Yeah, I wonder sometimes is that a person that's crazy, or is that a person goes, I will get attention and I will make money through this niche market of people who think that all this stuff is false flags and there's crisis actors and.
So I feel like if they're really good and passionate about it, which you need to be to do this job, that job, you can't pretend. Like, because then you're going to wake up one morning going, ugh, I have to go in there and pretend to believe in craziness.
No, I mean, I think you become there's different types of characters in the world. If you look at stand-up down the middle for forever, there's like a Bobcat Goldthwait or a Gilbert Gottfried who were putting on absolute characters for all those years, making tons of a Gallagher.
Right.
These people that are absolute characters.
Right.
It's not. You have the George Carlins and stuff who are personifications of themselves. Nothing too crazy. Like you watch George Carlin and it's like, oh, that's him. Mm-hmm. You watch Joe Rogan, you're like, that's Joe Rogan, you know? Mm-hmm. Maybe some things are amplified, but like Gilbert Gottfried was using a different voice all those times. There was a guy in the 80s
No, but if you listen to his podcast, Gilbert Gottfried, that's his real voice.
No, it's not. It's very well known that Gilbert Gottfried does not sound like that.
What?
And there's many recordings of him not sounding
Are you
like
serious? He has a normal voice?
that. Yeah.
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't believe that.
There's recordings you can hear of Gilbert Gottfried being
Let's look
regular.
this up. I don't think that's true.
Just Google Gilbert Gottfried's normal voice, and if it has a bunch of results, we can move on.
Gilbert Gottfried. Normal. Nothing's coming up. Gilbert Gottfried's real voice on the Howard Stern show. Let's see what this is. Make me watch an ad. Sorry.
Cartoon character. What voice is this from? Aladdin. Aladdin, you plays a parrot. Yeah. And in fact, they wanted Gilbert
Really old
for this. They
recording.
even grew the parrot to look like him even before they gave him the part because they only had Gilbert in mind.
Planning on him.
And here's a little bit of Gilbert. I have a point to make here. This is my point about how there's two different Gilberts.
All right.
The on-air persona and the off-air persona, and they're both scary. All right, here you go. Here's Gilbert as the parrot.
I can't believe it. I just don't believe it. We're never going to get a hold of that stupid lamp. Just forget it. Look at this. Look at this. I'm so ticked
That's
off
the Gilbert I know.
Patience, Iago, patience. His aim was obvious.
What are you watching this on? Sounds like shit.
Have you ever watched
like
his
shit.
cartoons?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Now, what are you saying?
Well, you should see him. You know how when celebrities watch their work on the Tonight Show?
Oh, here he
You see
is.
Gilbert very serious during his clip.
This is still an on-air persona.
He interrupts everything
Sounds
else.
insane.
He's still on air, is what I'm saying.
Now
This is the
listen to it in
character.
contrast. This is
He said-
off-the-air
What? Oh, wait.
Gilbert.
Oh,
This is Gilbert calling Gary from years ago on the answering machine.
okay.
And this is Gilbert's real voice. All right, it's just as scary.
Yes.
All right, but it's like a whole different guy. All right, here it is.
Yeah, Gary, it's Gilbert.
You're kidding.
I'll probably be there tomorrow, but
That's a joke. That can't be his real voice.
I'm saying he's doing a character.
and just tell me what exactly is going on tomorrow. You know what's
He's a
who's
joke.
going to be there and everything like that.
That's the scariest Gilbert.
Wow.
People are afraid of him.
What the heck? Is this real?
Yeah, it's real. So he's doing a character.
What?
I forgot what point we were trying to
He's
make.
been doing a character for 20 whatever years, 30 years.
Look at Bobcat. He did that insane thing for a decade and a half plus. He went on Jay Leno and set his chair on fire or some shit, or Arsenio, or some late night show.
That's. I wouldn't be able to do that.
I'm saying, yeah.
Could you do that?
No, I can't even. I struggle to be myself. Like, to
Maybe it'd be easier if you struggle to be yourself.
no, I struggle to identify myself in that. Like, this guy has a voice way.
Right.
You know, I couldn't pretend to be someone else. I'm struggling to be myself. I'm still learning to be myself. You know,
Yeah.
I couldn't just switch gears and be another guy because that takes acting too. I can't even act like myself.
I can't, but Gilbert Gottfried, I need to hear another source of this.
Keep going.
I'm not
I
even
went
gonna
down this
take it
rabbit
just-
hole for you already.
Uh-huh.
These are big persona
So
characters.
he does stand up with an annoying voice. His okay,
All on-screen
I could see him
persona,
being
huh?
a parrot in another voice in Aladdin, but he does his stand up that way, and he does a podcast.
He did. It's just his. It's his character.
That's insane.
The point I was trying to make is that's in stand up. People are these completely different people for the version to do stand up or be whatever now into podcasting. Is Alex Jones a character or is he a real
I
crazy
guess he
guy?
could be. Yeah, I guess he could, after that shit.
Pretending
mind is
because he
blown.
makes a lot of money, even being banned from all the things that he's banned from.
Oh, he's making millions.
His podcast and his website still drive. People are like,
So
well,
much money.
If YouTube will block the great voice of Alex Jones, I'll just go to his website or whatever the fuck.
Right. Oh yeah, he's
taking off all the platforms.
he's
So
doing just fine.
I wonder what is for greed and what people are actually crazy. Because the people that tend to be legitimately crazy, in my opinion, I'm not a doctor or anything, but the people that you see that are actually crazy don't seem to be that organized. You know, like run a big business, like to be
Right.
that insane.
You're right, but if they have a big enough following, they might just get people that organize them. Alex Jones has a whole team.
But he made it there.
Yeah.
There's an arc of being successful in that way and just leaning into this thing. So I really wonder over all these people, has Owen Benjamin lost his mind, or does Ben Shapiro know if he, these types of people that are,
Ben Shapiro, I listen to his podcast. He's not crazy.
no, I mean, is that who he is, or he know,
yeah.
he knows what the video,
Ben Shapiro, that one's real.
I know, yeah. Is he doing a personification? I mean, what is it?
I don't think so.
Personality-wise.
He's just smart. I agree with everything he says.
Obviously, you don't agree with everything.
Most of it.
Where do you stand on abortion rights?
I'm for abortion.
Because he's very pro-choice.
I'm pro-choice, yeah.
I mean, he's very pro-life, sorry.
Oh. Yeah, but that's because he's religious.
I know. I mean, I'm saying, do you agree?
No, you're right. So I don't agree with him on everything. But I'm pro-abortion, pro-choice. But I do think that women should understand that they are murdering a baby when they do it.
I can't wait to break that clip out of this.
I'm just saying, if you want to kill your baby, it's your baby and it's not born yet. Kill it. But you should know that you're murdering one of God's children.
I think that's pretty understandable when you said kill 3 times leading in.
They're murdering God's children, is all I'm saying.
See, you're not. Now that's just you being a character.
No.
You believe in God.
Yeah.
You do.
I found him this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
So.
On YouTube?
So I started saying God bless to people a lot when I leave. Like, later, God bless. And I've said it so many times that I now believe in God.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's real.
I don't know if it's real.
I think, well, I don't know either. But
see?
But I think
this may be a good example of how the lines can start to blur where you begin to wonder what you're doing as a character or not. So maybe Alex Jones is sitting somewhere going, I don't know.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Can you see him in his big fucking house just walking to his mirror in the morning to do whatever, just looking briefly at himself going, I don't know, man. Do we keep going? Do I quit?
Yeah, and here's another way to know God's real. Look me in the eyes right now. I want you to do this for me. Look me.
I'm looking you in the eyes. Don't say it twice.
Look me in the eyes and say, I love God.
I love God.
Damn it, didn't work. Most people smile when they say it.
Oh, you get filled with joy?
And then I'm like, who put that smile there?
Please don't break that one clip out of me that just says, I love God over and over.
I love God.
Yeah.
I can't say it without smiling.
Because it's a funny thing to you.
Because God's putting that smile on my face.
You think that, or the devil. I believe that the devil may be inside of you because he's the mischievous one. Would God put a smile on your face?
I do have a lot of mischief in me.
Would God put a smile on your face or in your heart? I believe that the devil would put the smile on your face.
And God would put it in your heart, but hearts can't smile. It's just a beating organ.
See, now we're being too literal.
True. You're right.
You would have some problems reading the Bible when they start
I can't read that Bible. That would be so hard.
They can't. They built a ship. Two of every animal.
How many
two
religious
they can't do
Christians do you think have actually read the Bible?
I think that we've noticed in a lot of our time being so jammed together on the internet that a lot of people don't read at all. So I couldn't put it.
What percentage of Christians do you think have read the Bible top to bottom, even once?
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%. You'd think it's not that big of a book.
It's pretty big.
How many pages is it?
Total?
Yeah.
What are there, 24 books in the Bible? I don't know.
Oh, there's that many?
I
thought it was one book.
It's one book. I'm saying the book of John, that's what they call the chapters.
So when you go to the church and there's the Bible.
We're going to sound real stupid because I don't know enough about.
Okay, but based on what you know. So when you go to a hotel and there's the Holy Bible in the shelf in the bedside table, is that the whole Bible?
I mean, it depends on how. There are versions of the Bible.
But that's the main Bible. That's the Bible. If you read that book, you could say, I've read the Bible.
This is up for debate, too. So.
But generally speaking, obviously.
Would it be all the words, a non-abridged version of whatever the current Bible is? Probably. That's a big-ass book.
That book isn't crazy. It's like that thick.
Yeah, but the words are the tiniest words you've ever seen.
But they're readable.
Have you read it?
No.
I think that it would take. It wouldn't be a good read.
It'd be a terrible read. But how long would it take? If I read it, if I spent an hour reading it a day, I could get through it probably in a
20 hours maybe?
Yeah. So you get through it pretty quick. So you'd think if you could read the Bible in 20 to 40 hours, let's even say 40 hours, and you love God and you're religious, you'd think that you would have read the Bible, even if it's a hard read.
You think?
You'd think. So if 1% of Christians haven't read the Bible.
This guess is based on nothing.
True, yeah, we're just talking. We're just spewing bullshit.
It's not that much bullshit. We're making a guess based
Yeah.
on what we know. So that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as we don't claim to be experts on the subject. That's the easy way to do
Well,
it.
the thing is, no, it's a real stat that 1% of Christians have read the Bible.
That's an actual stat?
No, I made it up just now.
See,
but
that's
all I have to
easy.
say it like that with confidence.
Yeah.
Boom. Now you're a podcaster.
If you say anything with confidence, people jump on board pretty fast.
What was your joke about? That was such a funny joke. You did it on Adam Devine's house party, the one about before the internet.
Oh, people used to, if you got caught in a lie back in the day, like before you could have all the information at your fingertips, people would be like, "Do you swear to God?"
Oh yeah.
And if you did, people were like, "Okay."
yeah, that's all it used to take. I swear to God, that's true.
And now with the
All right.
internet, you can just
Second guess anything.
no, but
Gilbert Gottfried. If you had said, if we didn't have my phone, and you just said, "I swear to God," I would have had to been like, "All right."
Yeah, but even in the information age, there's still the joke. The crux of the end of the joke is that the confidence still wins over. If I said Gilbert Gottfried's voice is not his real voice, and before you even pulled out your phone or anything, you're like, "For real?" I go ahead and Google it. Even that confidence.
Oh, then I'd be like, "All right, I believe you."
Even that confidence sometimes is like, well, he must know. Why would he want to get proved wrong right here on the spot?
Right. That's awesome.
So the bridge of that joke is just like, you can still lie. You just have to say,
That's a good
I
joke.
swear to Google.
Do you still do that joke?
No.
Never?
No.
If you're headlining?
I haven't done that joke since I did that show. That's the last time I ever did that joke.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So if you're headlining, you don't do it?
Mm-mm.
So good, though.
You've been working with me a bunch of times. You ever heard that joke again?
I don't watch stand-up.
I've seen you stand in the back and watch me do stand-up.
If I do, it's for 30 seconds.
I've come off stage and seen you
I
go.
swear,
"Dude,
Billy, I love you and I love your comedy. I have maybe watched in person like 2 minutes of you do stand-up.
Really?
Yeah. Like I don't like watching stand-up.
I mean, yeah, honest. I mean, after the first time, but you've seen a set before.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you stand in the back every time.
But I wouldn't know if you stopped doing that joke is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have not done that joke. It's been 5 years or 6 years since that.
But I think you should still do the joke because no one watched Adam Devine's house party.
But it got shared online. It has, across platforms, it has a few million views.
I still think.
I was just
No one's
happy
heard it.
that they used that joke and it worked, and I just moved on from it.
Yeah.
I did an energy drink joke on that show, though, that they never shared. I still do that because it fits with something else I do.
Perfect.
But also, young people watching stand-up now don't remember the swear to God days. So that
So
joke,
you're saying the joke wouldn't hit?
I don't know.
I think people
just not
people
gonna
remember it, swear to God.
I'm just
Right?
not going to do it. We do. You're 30, right?
Yeah.
30-something?
30, yeah.
I don't know. Call your little brother.
Well, my little
That's
brother
what-
is like a gay Jewish kid.
I know, but he would.
Yeah, he might have said it, swear to God.
Well,
I think he would get it.
He would know because he's not.
Even
is he
if you
just-
didn't
is
use
your-
it, you would get it.
Is he only around? But I say, remember in the '90s when you used to be able to tell a lie.
Oh, right. And a lot of kids weren't even born in the 90s.
Yeah, we got kids that were like that are entering college that were born after 9/11. It's we're getting old. I have gray hairs in the front. This fucking sucks.
I found my first few gray hairs like a week ago on the sides of my head.
Yeah?
Two on each side.
You could find it in that mess. This seems like a good one to disguise gray hairs.
I mean, it is, but yeah.
I think it's funny that you're recording us sitting here sweating on one of LA's hottest days.
How hot is it?
Huh?
How hot is it?
We're in a
Like,
heat
the
wave.
weather?
I think it's close to 100 today.
Wow.
They were talking about doing rolling blackouts if you didn't use your air conditioning sparingly.
Oh, like purposely giving you a
Yeah,
blackout?
so they don't overload the grid or some shit.
Why wouldn't they just have a grid that works on overload?
California's too big and blah, blah, blah. Enron did something wrong a long time ago.
Why can't Elon Musk fix that?
I'm sure he's sitting somewhere thinking about how to do it, but only if it makes him money. He already makes batteries that power homes through solar panels.
He's
so.
such a genius. He's been getting a lot of shit lately because he tweets crazy shit and names his kid whatever robot names. But,
Yeah.
But he's a badass. If someone doesn't like Elon Musk, they're not going to like me. If you like me and don't like Elon Musk, comment below because I don't think that exists.
That doesn't like?
I'm saying everyone who likes me probably also likes Elon Musk. I think that if someone doesn't like Elon Musk,
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear from the people in your echo chamber. Let's reach out to the people that are watching King and the Sting, and see. I want to hear from people that dislike
like Elon Musk and dislike me. But no, what I mean is,
I know I'm
the opposite of that.
Yeah, I'm just making a joke.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear from the people that already like you in your fucking podcast stream. Let's talk to these people that fucking hated you, even from back that Laugh Factory video that you put up.
Oh my God! Everything I've ever done that people have actually seen, I'm very disliked, and it hurts. It hurts my feelings.
It doesn't.
It does. It's ruined my day before.
Really?
Yeah. The day that Laugh Factory video came out, I was
because they took it down. You got sad, huh?
They didn't take it down.
I thought eventually they took it down.
No, it got reported. Instagram took that video down. Laugh Factory didn't remove
yeah,
it.
It got taken down.
Oh,
I wasn't
at
saying
that
who
point,
was
I was
responsible.
over the sadness, so I was sad they took it down. But initially, the Laugh Factory put up that video. I'm getting a flurry of comments and messages and whatever saying, you're a horrible person, you suck, you're not funny, people shitting on me. And I was devastated because it was one of my best jokes that I've been doing for a year. And it works every time I do it for the most part.
Which joke was it?
The teacher joke about how I don't think teachers should, it's an edgy joke, but it's a joke. I thought everyone would get that I don't actually have political opinions. And I was really heartbroken. And I messaged the girl, Caitlin, at the Laugh Factory, who edited the video and puts out the videos. And I said, hey, can you take that video down? People hate me and, it hurts my feelings. And she was like, come on, you're a comedian. It's a funny joke. People are hating you because it's edgy, but you got to expect that. And you're probably getting tons of followers from it. And don't take it down. And I was like, okay. And she talked me out of it. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, fuck it. I'm fine.
And then Instagram took it down. She's right about that. I mean, you got to think about the energy from a person it takes to even comment. Most people that are content or like something, they move the fuck on. They hit like.
Yeah.
The bad part about Instagram is there's no dislike ratio, so you can see like a balance. You can only see the comments. But even on YouTube, when something's like 95% liked and less than that disliked, even the comments are all still negative. The people that take the time to go blah, 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 blah about anything are always the mad ones.
Yeah.
Mostly everyone who's content seems like they just move on. They're like, I enjoyed the content. Sometimes I subscribe, sometimes I like, but it's the fucking idiots who are always like, I need to shit my opinion on this post.
I'm starting to wrap my head around the people who leave bad comments. For a while, I couldn't understand why anyone would do that, and they're mean and blah, blah, blah. And I'm starting to wrap my head around that. What I still cannot wrap my head around is someone dislikes me, leaves a bad comment, then goes to my personal page and has to comment on my photo and go, just watched your video over there and just want to let you know you suck.
Are you learning about what would compel someone to do this based on your recent Turo experience?
But I didn't do anything to these people.
No, I know.
I'm a stranger.
Yeah, but you'd have done something to them according to them. So you can see, according to them, whatever you said,
offended them.
Yeah. So even that little moment for them was big enough to do that. Even if it's fucking crazy to go on and do whatever they did or spend any energy finding your extra pages.
So I got a rise out of them, you're saying? Yeah. I got a big rise out of them.
Often the bigger volume, you'll notice when you're smaller in volume, I've noticed with people that have less of a following but, are still on their way, mainly positive. But the bigger the positive following becomes, the negative one grows too. And those are the people that really come for you and try to get you to lose your job or whatever. So
the cancel culture.
The bigger, not specifically the whole culture of whatever. I'm just saying
haters.
The bigger you are received and revered,
the more haters you're gonna have naturally.
Yeah, but that pocket is always so small relatively. But that's where the energy that comes from people that dislike you is always way larger than people that like you, because they're passively and enjoying. They came to follow. the small people that hate you, they exert energy that goes outside of passive. They're actively trying to destroy you.
Right. And I'm not famous at all, obviously.
It's kind of a little disease online.
But my hate pocket feels pretty big proportionally. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, when you go on something like King of the Sting, where they have their big fan base, and you're introduced to their ecosystem and someone dislikes you, it's going to feel a lot heavier. Or the Laugh Factory is doing really well with their Instagram channel. I think they used to be getting millions of views on it. I don't know what happened there because now...
Yeah, now it's...
I don't know what happened.
off.
I don't know how... if they're sharing incorrectly or if they're using curse words.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a combination of things, but it seems like the quality of their stuff has gone down too.
Yeah, but it was the impressions fell off. It should not fall off that much, even if it's the content got worse.
Right.
It went from like
1 million. Yeah, my video got over 1 million views in a day.
Yeah.
And now you barely see any of them breaking 1 million.
You barely see some of them bringing 80,000 or 100,000.
Yeah.
It's weird how they'll adjust like that. I bet Instagram just changed the algorithm because they know they can make money from a channel like the Laugh Factory putting up these people. But the hate pockets always seem way bigger than the love pockets because people passively love you if you're in entertainment.
Right.
And actively hate you.
All right. Well, you're making me feel better about
People
myself.
leap into the hate.
Yeah.
I always just, anytime someone says something hateful to me, and it doesn't happen that frequently because I don't say anything that polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right down the middle. You know, my political stance, if Trump gets reelected, I'm going to do the minimum for the next 4 years like I have been my whole life. I'm going to still be a lazy piece of shit, and I'm just going to keep going with my life despite all these big things that are negative. But when someone says something negative on any of my social media, I just say no thanks. And they really they get mad about that. They lean into it even further.
And then do you say no thanks again?
Yeah, no thanks the second time. No, I just say no thanks.
Uh-huh.
I rarely get set off unless it's someone I fucking know in real life.
Winning season returns at MyBookie. Winning season means doubling your first deposit. Winning season means Survivor, Super Contest, and Squares. At MyBookie, winning season means hitting all your parlays and props with your feet up, watching your team trounce their rivals. Rejoice. It's time to celebrate the NFL season. Invest your intuition. Use promo code THERAPY and double your first deposit. New players get up to $1,000 in free play. Designed to add more excitement to the sports you love and the games you bet. From live betting to championship futures, every play you want to make is waiting at MyBookie. It's simple. Make your picks. Win big. Collect your cash. Use promo code THERAPY and double your first deposit. Your winning season begins today only at MyBookie.
But I wrote 4 sketches, which is more than I've done in the last 5 years, I'll tell you that. And you can ask Greg about that.
Does he like them?
I haven't shared them with him yet.
Because you're nervous about what he'll say?
No, because I'm doing them by myself. It's not a team thing.
Oh, well, you're going to need to cast people in it.
I mean, when we get to that point, I'll decide, but artistically...
And you don't want his
whatever,
feedback on it? You don't want people's feedback?
Currently, I don't need any feedback. I just want to get the writing done.
Got it.
Once I have a body that I can share and actually work towards making more videos, because we made all those videos many years ago.
Tickets to Yacht Club.
Yeah.
They were great.
We made those videos, but then we stopped because I moved up here and I got jaded and lazy in Los Angeles. And he continued to work hard to become an actor, and he's successful at that. And I only wanted to be a stand-up, and writing all these sketches for free just never seemed like a great idea for me. But I'm regretful of that, so I'm trying to work on it. And luckily, the world shut down, and I had 4 months to really just look at myself every day like Alex Jones must each morning and realize, who am I and why am I a lazy piece of shit?
Yeah, you're really funny. I think you're lazy because you're sad.
No, because I've been sad the whole time, and I was very productive many years ago when I first got into it. But when you get to Los Angeles and the pot's bigger and the competition's stiffer, it's tough to wonder, it's tough to make a decision to keep going with, let's keep making these videos and coming out of pocket, and it's really expensive to make a good video.
Yeah. Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands.
More.
What do you mean more than thousands? You spent hundreds of thousands on a video?
I mean, I think across...
What's your most expensive video?
6,000?
Which one?
Oh, we got paid for that one. The court case one? No, that was 5,000.
Oh, if you got paid, it doesn't even count.
I mean, that's what it can cost to come through on a video.
Yeah.
But some of that money was supposed to be to pay us, but we spent money out of our pockets after that as well.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough making content, and it's just tough to like motivate yourself. And you're like, why am I have this funny video idea, but who's gonna watch it? What am I gonna get from this?
And
it's gonna be days and days of work.
That's why I always love stand-up, because you can just go say it.
Yeah, it's instant.
And someone can punch you right in the face instantly, you know?
Right.
The crowd lets you know.
Have you ever been punched in the face from stand-up?
No, I'm saying metaphorically.
Right.
Like, you say something and it's fucking dead silent. And you're like, oh, good. I mean, I'm glad I got that out of the way. But if you make a video and you spend money and you spend 3 months thinking about it until it, thinking about it, writing it, getting it made, and then no one likes it, you're like, fuck, man.
Even if you don't even put it out, you make it. That's happened to me a few times where I made it and I don't like it when it's all done. So I don't even put it out. And then I spent money and days of work for nothing.
Yeah, it's probably, as far as sketches go, a very smart person a long time told me just focus on TV stuff, but I never listened to him. And I just...
He's meaning don't do sketches?
He said, why waste your time writing sketches when you can focus on making a TV show and having a real career? Like, write a pilot.
What about a sketch TV show?
I mean, that's fine, but those are, what they are, and that's a whole thing, too.
Yeah.
But even if there's way more regular, proper sitcoms than there are sketch shows. I think his point was, which I didn't
Focus
listen
your
to.
energies into the most viable options.
Yeah, and he wrote a movie. Like, he was right all along.
Mike Young?
I just never listened to him. No, Scotty Landis.
I don't know.
He wrote the movie. What was that movie called? I'm blanking right now. Us.
Oh, that's a big one.
That scary movie, yeah. But he wrote on Adam Devine's House Party. He produced that show. I met him on that, but he had some interesting advice about writing, but I thought I knew what I was talking about way back then, even only 5 or 6 years ago. I thought stand-up was the only way to be, and now looking back on it, wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
people want a utility player.
Yeah, but if you look at it in version of money, say you did make some money on stand-up, say you started headlining just through YouTube or Twitter or something, the amount an agent could receive in commission from just your stand-up shows doesn't even come close to what it could be if you sold a TV show, optioned a pie, anything.
Right.
Got into a writer's room and we're making $5,500 a week.
Right. It's way better.
Yeah. So why would they work for you if you're only going to do the one thing that makes them at least? It's a team business thing. But I never looked at it like that. I was just like, I'm going to be a stand-up. I always felt like I was doing it at a very high level. Whenever. You're kind of delusional the whole time, but I've always felt like it's going great. I got on TV very fast. I did a bunch of stuff, but then I just off a cliff because I got all these meetings that were asking me the questions that they knew that the answers they needed to keep working with you, and I gave all the wrong answers.
Yeah.
I always said shit like, I just want to focus on stand-up. They're like, you don't have any TV ideas? And I'm like, yeah, do an hour of stand-up. I was just so dumb. But when I started doing comedy when I'm 25, and in 5 years I already meeting these people that are putting me on a TV show to do stand-up. So when outside of the city, I was living in San Diego. So by the time I'm in Los Angeles, I don't know anything about the business. Right. I'm happy to go talk to anyone anywhere, but boy, and I'm an off-putting person.
No, you're not.
I really am. I don't know if I ever told this story.
Everyone
before.
likes you.
No, I don't. I'm just not. I'm off-putting. I'm not one of the buddy lifted in the system things. I'm just.
Well, you're not like
you can never
lucky.
Listen,
hey, I'm Billy. Good to see you.
That's an off-putting person. Here's a good example of how I know I'm off-putting. I went to audition for a show where it was like one of those talking head things. I believe it was at VH1 or MTV. A while ago. It's probably my favorite memory because I tried really hard. You write a bunch of jokes based on these topics they give you. You get to talk about whatever. Write a ton of jokes and you go in and you do them on camera. It's like a 30-minute, 45-minute audition. You go through your jokes. Get done with the audition. The lady brings me up in the elevator, do the audition, go down in the elevator. The email she wrote, my manager said, Billy obviously writes incredible jokes, but he seemed disinterested before, during, and after the audition. This is what the lady said. He said he put in the effort, writes great jokes, but he seemed very disinterested before, during, and after the audition.
You know what, though?
I think I printed that out and I had it pinned to the wall for like.
Okay, I could see why she'd say that. I could see her point. But a couple things. Number one, fuck that lady.
She's right, though.
Yeah, but
because that's how I am.
Yeah, but she's right, but that doesn't, like, to me, that's not a reason not to work with someone unless you are rude or verbally like, I don't want to be here. Like, some people just have low energy and seem disinterested in things even when they're not. That's a personality type.
That's me. If you get to know me, you've gotten to know me over all these years, but people on initial contact generally think I'm an asshole, but I'm not. I'm just shy. And you can't be shy in the entertainment industry. You know, it took me 5 years after thinking I wanted to do stand-up for the first time to ever do it. So I'm still that shy person. I still worry. I'm still weird at parties unless I get fucking absolutely fucked up. You know what I mean?
Same here.
You don't really drink, though.
And I'm even weirder.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm like a shy person, and
me too.
It's harder to be a shy person in Los Angeles still because you're supposed to be. They see you do good at stand-up, something that they don't know how long it took you trying hard or thinking about it, because it's really hard to get in stand-up. So they see you be, generous and emotional on stage or whatever, tell good jokes, have good delivery. Really, you look like you're supposed to be there. You look comfortable. So then when you're uncomfortable there, they're like, he must not like me. And it's like, no, I just don't know what. This is different. This performance thing is different. And then you get me in an audition room, and it's like, turn that thing on, and it's like, that's a different thing. So I
get what you're saying.
People see you do stand-up and like, you want a commercial? You want to try to do commercials?
And you're like, yeah. And then you go there and you're not good at it. And they're like, I don't get it. How are you not good at it?
Yeah.
You're this outgoing comedian. And you're like, well, I'm not.
Where's that thing that's on stage? Someone asked me before. I auditioned for that show a long time ago. This is, what is it called? Showtime did a stand-up show. What was it called? I'm dying up here.
Yeah.
A lady saw me do stand-up. The casting director, she invited me to audition for that show for a main part, which I was like so
stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there at Sony. I'm like, fuck yeah, or Paramount, wherever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Bombed the audition, which I tried for so long, 3 straight weeks between the time they said, we're going to have you come in for this, come do it.
Yeah, you prepared as much as you could.
The most I ever prepared for anything. And I went in and I ate a big dick. And I'm pretty sure her exact words were, where's the thing from stage? And I was like, that shit ain't. I left it at Flappers.
I wish you said a better comedy club there. Do it again, but say I left at a cool club.
Oh, she saw me at Flappers. That's what happened.
Yeah, but still, just for the clip.
She saw where.
Let's get a better comedy club.
Okay. She said, "Where's that thing from stage?" And I said, "I left it at the Comedy Store. If you want it, can we do the audition over there?"
Yeah. See how much better the story is now.
Yeah, but it really was at Flappers. I was just trying to be factual.
Yeah, I know. Just goofing around. You've put a lot of thought into that kind of stuff, it sounds like.
I've had 5 months just sitting in my apartment trying not to be killed by my girlfriend.
Are you guys fighting a lot?
No, she's just like she runs an elementary school from the kitchen.
Isn't the school shut down?
The school, you cannot go to the campus.
Right. Oh, but there's some virtual classes and that
Yesterday
bullshit.
was the first day of class for this new school year. The summer breaks over.
But she's a principal, so she's just kind of managing the whole thing. She's not actually teaching, right?
I mean, she sits in on classes and stuff. Yeah, she
sits in the virtual classes.
Yeah, she was doing one this morning right before I came.
And does she send those teachers notes?
I mean, I don't know that exact portion of her job, but yeah,
Do principals do that? Do principals sit on a class and then say to the teacher, hey, I have some pointers for you?
For sure, in a general way, yeah.
Wow.
But she's the principal, so she's in charge of the curriculum stuff. So she does sit in and make sure they're delivering the lessons properly. And especially, they reinvented the whole how class works now for being online. So her and her and the director of the school and the assistant principal and their other head of finance or whatever, they all four of them like reinvented a new way to go to school for this particular school because they're a charter school. So she's been working hard as fuck. And fat, depressed Billy has just been on the couch watching every movie over and over again. I've seen Fargo 4 times in the last 5 months. I love that fucking movie.
I've heard so many Fargo references this quarantine.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people have been rewatching.
Maybe because it popped up on Amazon Prime or something for free, you know?
Yeah.
You'll notice on Twitter whenever Netflix puts out a free really good movie or Amazon Prime, you'll notice people start
talking about it
yeah,
because they're watching. That's interesting.
Because they finally got to see it for free because they didn't want to pay the $5.99 whatever rent fee. But you can notice you're like new releases top 10 in the U.S. and like one of the movies is Ocean's 13, and then the tweets are
Ocean's 13.
And you're like,
are you nervous to do stand up this weekend?
No.
No.
I'm so pumped. I'm more nervous to
but
even
nervous because you haven't. When's the last time you did it?
The last show I did was. You know Stephen Fury, right?
Yeah.
That last show I did was his show in Long Beach.
So that was months ago.
Q Sierra. What's it called?
Kissera.
Kissera.
I don't know.
Did you ever go down there and do it?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that show, it's called Bear something.
Bear City, yeah.
Bear City. That's how long it's been. I forgot what all the shows are called.
So that was months ago.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the
exact date. You haven't done
stand-up
in months.
5 months.
Are you going to be doing all new stuff? Or are you going to be hitting some of the old, trying to polish off the old ones?
I don't know if the old ones even work anymore, considering what's happened. Because my show was always pretty nihilistic anyway. Like, why are we even here? The world's going to end anyway. But I had a joke right before all this, just maybe a couple months before this happened. If an asteroid destroyed the Earth in 5 months, the first thing I would do is call MasterCard and tell them to suck my dick. It was a joke about debt. And then it's like, oh, I never thought about a pandemic. That would have been way better for the joke.
Switch it.
Yeah. I hope the asteroid's still coming, though. But that's my general attitude about everything. So
you're not like, oh, this is going to be hard. Because for me,
I've embraced the fact that I know that I'm going to bomb. As I told you on the phone when I spoke with you.
You might not bomb, but for me, I'm thinking about it, and it feels like I've never done stand-up, kind of. I forgot that muscle is gone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it feels just like that. Because I don't think the muscle's gone, because I think
it'll come back, but...
I think that I've done I don't know how long you've done stand-up, but...
9 years.
Yeah, I started 11 or 12 years ago, maybe, for the first time, whatever the path was. It's not like I jumped right into it and did it every night. But up to 6 years ago or 7 years ago, I was doing it, 6 or 7 times a week, especially in San Diego. And I think that enough time has elapsed that you have done it, that it's not a disappear thing. Now, if you're one of these people that just moved to LA in 2019 to produce...
Oh, then they're starting over.
Yeah. If you took a 5-month break after only doing it a few times a month for 2 years...
Oh, yeah.
It's a full restart.
Yeah, it's a full restart.
Because when I first started stand-up in San Diego, I was on a ship in the Navy, the first time I ever did stand-up, and they transferred me to go to school in Florida, and then to go to... Where'd I go after that? Then I came back to Coronado. So I did stand up for the first few times in the first few months, and then I didn't do it again for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Because I left for school. I came back. There was like a period.
So you're starting over.
That was a full start over.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't feel like that again.
You can't say, oh, when you came back, I've been doing stand up for a year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, to me now, having done it for so long after that, they don't feel like the same thing. Because when I came back because it took me 5 years after thinking about stand-up for the very first time and doing it to get the nerve to do it. I did it for a little while, was transferred by the Navy to Florida to go to school, came back, and I was too scared to do it for a while. I feel like a guy called me and said, do you want to do a socially safe show in San Diego? I just said, yes. I'm on my way. Fuck yeah. If that was the same thing many years ago after the first start, I would be scared because I remember being scared to go try it again.
Now, do you think the people at these socially safe shows in San Diego, do you think they're going to be liberals, or do you think they're going to be anti-maskers, or just normal people? What do you think?
Knowing the city, I've done shows there before. It's Escondido. I think
Escondido people don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a You know the towns that are around San Diego, if it's easterly, even if it's northeasterly a little bit,
They don't give a fuck, right?
yeah, they have it's more of a red county sentiment in those places. So they probably think it's a hoax.
I like that.
You do
Now
like
I'm
that.
excited for the show.
The guy who doesn't wear a seatbelt doesn't give a fuck about masks. Go figure.
No seatbelt, no mask, dude. I did a couple shows here at the studio early on in the quarantine, and I said no masks allowed.
That's dumb and
So they
irresponsible.
came in, it was like really cramped in here, and there was one guy wearing a mask, and I said, you either take that off or you get out.
I don't know if I believe. Is this a joke?
No.
You did that, but
Yeah.
you did it as a joke when you told him that.
No, I was serious.
You were serious.
Yeah.
But did you make him leave?
No, he took off his mask.
He did?
Uh-huh.
You sound like a real dick right now.
Should I edit this out?
I think you should. That's up to you, though. You're in charge of representing yourself.
I made it up. That was a fake story.
I was trying to give you an out, but everyone knows now.
It's made up.
You got to go right to the camera if you're gonna wink. They need to see it.
I made that up.
That's not a true.
I never did that.
That's not a true story.
Not true at all.
But if you're a fan of King and the Sting, please check. One time Joe Rogan retweeted me some shit I said last year. I got maybe, if I remember correctly, it was like 300, 400 followers just off a tweet that he retweeted. And then it's been fun to because, you know, the numbers go back down.
Yeah.
I feel like all those people jumped on because Joe Rogan was like, kind of like, you know, how he does for Tim Dillon regularly, all these guys.
Yeah.
So they saw that and they're like, well, you know, Joe Rogan knows people is funny. They see I'm a comedian, follow me, and then see that I'm like the direct opposite of how those guys feel about, you know.
Followers, it's like as stupid as it is, follower count and being a comedian, social media, regular people, a lot of them have that same thought. I want followers. I want my ratio to be good. So I noticed that people stop following after a little while.
Yeah, but this was was big follow, and then me being a depressed guy, and I talk about issues with the brain. You know, I'm a negative person. The Joe Rogan clan, usually very positive. You know, so like it's just fun. Joe Rogan get me a bunch of followers, and then seeing them fall off when they were like, I'm like a depressed nihilist.
Yeah, they trickle off.
Yeah. Oh fuck, this guy wants to die. I can't have that. I can't have that in my feed.
I don't see you ever actually killing yourself.
No, it's not like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying I do feel like we're here for no reason. None of this makes sense. And that's how I really feel. So if you're a person who likes to work out and tackle the day, you don't want to wake up and see some guy named Billy.
Yeah,
be
it's not a motivating Twitter account.
It's not.
But it's nice to have that mixed in there.
It's fun to just see them fall off and just no one wants to see a suicidal it's Motivation Monday. It's not May I Kill Myself Monday, okay?
But you're never going to kill yourself, right?
You never know.
But you're not going to.
You never know, man.
Yeah, but just say you're not going to.
No, I can't offer you any sanctuary.
Why would you do that?
It's fun.
You've never done it. You don't know if it's fun.
Never done what?
Suicide.
I said, why would you do that? Oh, I thought you were asking me, why would I not give you sanctuary?
Yeah, don't do it. Billy.
It's really none of your concern.
Yeah, it is.
My body, my choice. No one ever lets that fly with suicide.
Don't do it.
What if I did it right after? Tell me when this is going to be released. I'm going to kill myself.
It'd be so good for my podcast. Don't do it, but if you're going to do it, if you're planning on doing it anyway.
That's what I'm saying. That's the joke. I say, tell me when this is going to be released, and I'll do it the day before.
Right. Or the day after. Or the
day before is better. That way you can put in memoriam in the beginning of the podcast episode.
The last podcast with Billy Bonnell. Don't do it. Don't do it, Billy.
The only podcast.
But if you're going to
I can't remember the last time I did a podcast. This might be.
Really? I would have imagined probably some San Diego podcasts.
No, I mean, I say no to most of them.
How come you said yes to mine?
I like you.
I like you too, but you like everyone.
That's not true. We've already established.
You like everyone except for...
No, it's not about... It's like the like thing... Or knowing you is really, it's not.
Yeah.
There's people I don't know that I very much like.
It's awkward doing interviews with complete strangers.
Especially when I don't have anything. What do I have to offer?
Your good looks.
No, at least with me and you, we have a rapport that goes beyond this, so we could maybe have.
We're both from San Diego. Well, you're from Texas, but you know what I mean?
We could have a podcast that's entertaining because we know each other and there's a connection. Now, if I was like a famous person and someone wanted me on their podcast, that would be the service for them, right? Like,
right.
Your name would. No one's gonna say Billy Bonnell's on Ari, man. I can't wait to listen.
Not
to
too
it.
many people.
But anyone that jumps in may be entertained just because. That's why I said yes.
Because we have rapport. Thanks. If you didn't live in LA, where would you want to live?
Austin, Texas.
Because of Joe Rogan moving there, or just in general?
Did he move to Austin?
Yeah.
It's a good choice. No, just in general. I'm from Texas.
Right.
Austin is like Texas' crowning achievement. Don't ask anyone from Dallas if I'm telling the truth or not. But Austin is San Diego.
Austin's way better than Dallas.
Of course.
Yeah. Dallas is like a city.
Austin is properly San Diego of Texas.
The only thing cool about Dallas is the Cowboys Stadium.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a game last time I performed in.
What else is cool about Dallas if you were trying to sell Dallas?
Nothing.
They have a cool football stadium.
That's not even in Dallas.
But close enough.
Yeah, but it's...
I have a house in Mesquite that me and my brothers bought together.
Really?
Yeah. It's like it was $100,000 house.
Who's in it?
We rented out to some stranger. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a property manager down there that manages it?
I do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, so I have a third of a house in Mesquite, Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's the money go?
We have a group bank account. There's like $10,000 in the account right now.
You just fund it.
Well, we haven't put any additional money into the account because it gets money from the rent.
But your mortgage, the rent is better than the mortgage payment?
Yeah. I think we each make $300 a month.
And you just keep it in an account in case something goes wrong with the house or something?
Pretty much, yeah. It's not like, right now I could use the $300 a month, but normally I just let it sit over there.
I say evict the people.
Move to Mesquite?
Yeah.
It's a cool house. Maybe not cool is the word, but it's like a 3-bedroom house.
Why'd you pick Mesquite?
Really cheap, and we knew this property manager there.
That's funny. See, what do you give him, 5%? 10%?
I think 10% he gets, yeah.
Right. This is not going to be entertaining for anyone except for me. We could probably...
Some people are into real estate. Earlier this quarantine, I was in Joshua Tree looking to get a house for Airbnb, but then I got scared out of it because the prices are so high. Now we're about to hit, the worst pandemic ever.
We're already in the middle of that.
Yeah, so I just feel like...
I think right now...
It doesn't make sense to me that the housing market's still so high during all this.
You could... From what I've read, is right now your interest rate would probably be the lowest you're going to find in a long time.
But the price of the house, forget the interest rate.
Yeah, but you could undercut. People are leaving the prices up because they're hoping to sell next year.
Right.
But
still, I think they're going to go down.
Foreclosures are really high, so you could get like a at auction type thing.
Yeah.
Did you look at the foreclosures in Joshua Tree?
Yeah, no, they're down a little bit, but it just doesn't make sense to me that I still think it's going to go down way more because...
But then you might lose the interest rate, so you should.
That's fine. I'd rather lose the interest rate, but get a bigger break on the house.
Yeah, but I'm saying there will be a line that crosses that you save money one way or the other.
But Joshua Tree houses are so cheap, or compared, relatively, that it could go down.
I understand. I'm just saying that 1.5% interest hike could cost you more in the long run.
Yeah.
This podcast sucks, dude. Remember when I was talking about killing myself and we switched right to real estate? Who's going to watch this?
I'm a nerd about real estate. I always check Zillow every day.
I've been looking for a house to buy. That's why I've been obsessed lately with the stock market stuff, because I've been wasting all my time and money and energy for the last...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
10 years in the Navy.
I think a lot of people listen. If you listen to podcasts, you probably are a nerd about...
something.
Either whether it's comedy... or
where my suicide nerds at?
Suicide, real estate. Those are my things.
I think that your podcast people should know that my cavalierness about suicide is a longer story that we don't have time to talk about.
We got time if we really wanted, but I could sum up your suicide story really fast. Your dad and grandfather killed themselves.
Yeah, that's the tip of the iceberg. That's the crazy part.
That's the story.
I mean, that's part of the story. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Who else did it?
just recently, my cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
Which
That's
side?
why I had that.
Dad's side?
I had a joke.
The
no,
same side of the family?
No, different side.
So you got suicide on
side.
both sides of the family.
Yeah, big time.
And the cousin was on your mom's side.
The cousin was my mom's brother's son. Yeah.
Damn. Were you close with him?
No, not really. But I mean, we grew up together.
Did you?
A weird thing is, when my grandpa killed himself, and we were all at my grandmother's house.
Mm-hmm.
My granddad killed himself while we were at my grandma's house for the weekend with my uncle. So my uncle's kids were there. He was one of the kids that were there when they discovered the body too.
Oh, he was. So he's been around it. Did you ever see it coming?
For him?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did.
Really?
But people say crazy shit. My family's pretty fucked up, and he said some crazy shit on Facebook, but no
About
one,
killing himself?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Some crazy shit.
Just like,
I don't
this,
know.
This world is cruel, and I want to leave it.
Looking back, obviously the hindsight thing, but looking back on it, thinking, oh shit.
What about, did you see Brody coming? Brody Stevens?
I mean, who predicts that kind of thing? But I think that a guy that melts down like that online sometimes, maybe a lot of people saw it coming.
I didn't see it coming. See if
I'm
there
saying
was like
the traits of people that,
if there was a what's it called, Deadpool?
A Deadpool.
If there was a Deadpool, like, you'd be towards the top, but not Brody.
Yeah, maybe that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm a little more outwardly suicidal than he was.
That's why I think you'd be towards the top, just because you talk about it so much.
But I do it as a coping mechanism. Joking about it keeps me in a centered place.
Yeah, but you joke so much about suicide that I'm like, fuck.
It's just a coping mechanism.
All I'm saying is, if you killed yourself, no one would be shocked.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's it. But then,
and it's not because you're so sad and pathetic or anything like that. It's because you talk about it so much.
Yeah, I think that's the better joke is to not kill yourself. I always said, what a waste of time it would be. It'd be so sad to kill yourself before you made it. I always tell my girlfriend this: is like, if I make it, that's when you got to worry about me.
True.
Like if I have
well,
I'm not gonna cop out of this. Like,
yeah, because then you'll realize I made it and I'm still not happy.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, totally.
The Robin Williams effect, they say. Someone committed themselves recently in the LA comedy scene. Richard Bain. I didn't see that coming.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's so sad.
But then you look back on it and you're like, we're all living these fucking crazy lives.
Well, I didn't know him that well. I always thought he was funny, but I didn't know he was
one of the funniest. Period.
Did all sorts of drugs and stuff. So that kind of is the only. That makes it easy to put a reason to the suicide. Oh, he did tons of drugs. He fucked with his brain.
Well, I don't think. I mean, I know people that do way more drugs than him. I don't think it. I think it still comes down to a personality trait.
I'm not an expert, but if you do Molly all the time, that's gonna fuck with your happiness levels.
I know people that have done Molly
Sure. Sure, there's people that have done it and not killed themselves. But all I'm saying is, if he had never done a bunch of Molly,
we can't say that. You just don't know him well enough.
I don't know him well enough, but I think if I were to rationalize it in my head.
I mean, you could rationalize anything any way you wanted in your head, but we just don't know what the guy. I knew him. But I didn't know him that well.
Right.
And still, there would be, there are people that know him really well that are still baffled by it because, a genuinely just great person and a funny guy.
Yeah, he's funny.
You could look at Brody's story and rationalize all you want that, he's on Periscope with a knife or whatever crazy shit happens and talking about medications, but you just don't know. You don't know if a person without any substance or never taking medicine, if they're on the same path, because people kill themselves in a lot of with nothing to do with drugs, completely sober people.
Right.
The mental health aspect of there's so many There's
so many ways to get depressed, whether it's through drugs or for your...
Or just an absolute chemical imbalance that is hereditary.
Right, yeah. Or just your natural state.
There are some people that kill themselves because they're in a fucking jam and it's the easiest...
Or their wife leaves them or cheats on them.
Like a non-depressed person is just like, fuck. Like like that Enron guy who just got caught,
Epstein.
Yeah, he killed himself for sure. I mean,
you think?
Yeah.
You're the first person I've had in here that thinks Epstein killed himself.
I mean, you could read anything you want. You can read into anything you want, but if you're a fucking guy,
I'm not saying he did or didn't. I'm just saying you're the first person.
if you're going to prison for the rest of your life, for sure, for some heinous shit, and there's no way out of it, you're gonna kill yourself.
Definitely not shocking.
It's not shocking to think,
especially because he's a billionaire. So it's like he's going from the best life imaginable to one of the worst lives.
And
imaginable.
megalomaniacs, when they have their power ripped away from them, often do that, right?
In movies, at least.
No, these people in general that have
world leaders, Hitler,
have all the power. This Enron guy, one of the board members of Enron, when it all came crashing down and they were like going to prison for sure, he just killed himself at the end of his driveway, like a night after court or something. A guy who had
money,
billions of dollars made through a fucking scam, but when it all came crashing down on him, he took the coward way out, you know? But some people have great lives and are like, fuck this, I'm killing myself. You know, it's nuts.
Yeah, you're right. It's too hard to rationalize.
There's not one like like in stand-up, there's like not a career path to make it. There's all these different suicide. There's no career path straight to suicide. There's all kinds of ways to get there, and some people do it to avoid, having to deal with stuff that isn't even emotional. It's just, I've been rich my whole life.
Yeah.
Fuck this. And then there's poor people that are like, I'm tired of being poor. Fuck this. But not a history of mental illness.
Right.
There are people that are just sad forever and that take medication. And you see that in the comedy world when people are now so open to talk about it. Was there a time where anyone was saying they were depressed in 80s comedy? Like the happy-go-lucky
Probably
time?
Probably not, huh?
Now
like, I'm going to therapy. I'm on meds. Yeah, that's got to be a new wave.
Now it's like an absolute part of comedy to be like, I've been taking this medication. Remember Brody had that great joke where he'd list off
Lamictal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would just start naming the drug.
Lexapro.
Yeah. He'd just start naming all of his cocktail of drugs that he was on.
Yeah. But it was like, that's who you are, and you're on stage. That's the thing. Some comics are who they are, and then some people are doing the Affleck voice for 30 fucking years. Did you ever see God dang it, Bobcat Gold? Did you ever watch any of his stand-up from the 80s?
Uh-huh.
He's doing a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then now he's like...
But it's still less than Gilbert Gottfried.
Gottfried laying it on. That's
insane. That Godfrey video blows my mind.
But look at...
It makes sense, though, because it's like, how do you get a voice like that? Now I'm really breaking it down in my head. His stage voice. No one
talks like that.
Yeah, no one talks like that. How would you get that? Typically, you sound kind of like your dad a little bit, right? Like, I think my voice is kind of like my dad's voice.
I wouldn't know, dude.
You would know. You had a dad for a while?
No, I didn't.
How old were you when he killed himself?
But I didn't know him till right before he killed himself.
Oh, damn.
My dad was my mom used a private investigator. This is a joke, but this is the funny thing about like when you really want to do it. This is true, but I used to joke about it. Was my mom tracked my dad down with a private investigator to find him so he would be our dad. But he only lived a town over. You can't do that anymore, not with Facebook. But my dad only lived in 25 minutes away, 30 minutes away.
Like your whole life, but you didn't know him?
Yep. I knew him when I was a toddler. My mom had me and my sister within an 18-month period. My dad left right after I was born. He went to start a new family a couple of towns over. Cleburne, Texas, Fort Worth, not very far. He lived in a place called White Settlement, which makes perfect sense.
White Settlement?
Yeah, which makes
Can't believe
perfect
that's
sense.
allowed to be a town name.
It still is. He lived right off Cherry Lane.
There's still a town in Texas called a White Settlement?
That's the neighborhood name, yeah.
Oh, they're going to change that.
No,
right?
my Cleburne, Texas is named after a Confederate general. They still haven't changed it.
Nice.
That's why it just makes perfect sense. This is the type of area where Waffle House is, the county seat.
I like that.
It's like you go to court at the Waffle House. But my dad just moved to town over. My mom found him with a private investigator. One time she showed me the notes that the private investigator gave me. She had the investigator gave her a handwritten note that said, works at so-and-so Chevrolet used car dealership, house directly behind it. So he worked at a Chevrolet dealership and he had a house right behind it. So my mom found him, made him be our dad for like a year, and then he was like, fuck this bitch, and just killed himself.
Oh, so he kind of did to get out of responsibilities.
Maybe. We don't know. He was a troubled guy, obviously, but it is kind of funny that my mom like tracked him down and he was like, I'll show her.
And how old were you when this happened?
I was 10. My sister was 11.
Gnarly.
Yeah. So I knew him for this little brief period. I'm not even sure what he sounds like.
Did you like him in that brief period?
No, he was kind of a dick.
Damn.
And his wife at the time, who has come out to shows when I've revisited Texas.
That's nice of her.
Yeah, but I think that she has some demons about all the situation and how she treated the new kids.
Oh, she wasn't nice either.
No, I have some distinct memories about how mean they were and how I didn't like going there. I remember one time, I guess my dad had a gambling problem. Go figure.
Wait, do you have a gambling problem?
No, I mean, what's not a gamble?
Oh, just your
gambling
life.
On stand-up, whatever. I play poker. I don't play slot machines or anything, but I'm just saying the tendencies or the life path I've taken is one big fucking gamble. So
that's true.
I'm not surprised that this guy. I remember in the middle of the night one time I went into his house or into their living room, and it looked like they maybe had like stolen a bunch of lottery tickets because they had a shitload of lottery tickets and they were still on the roll. Like he must have got a bunch of money and was like, "Let's go buy all the lottery tickets," or they stole them. And I
don't think you can steal lottery tickets.
I mean, you can.
How?
I don't know if you would get paid out for. You could take them, break into somewhere.
They were like the scratch off.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm just saying. It seemed. I remember one of them was like it's like he bought the whole roll. They just gave him the roll. You know.
Yeah.
One of them was like a big roll, but they were just scratching them off.
That sounds like drug-induced behavior, kind of.
Oh yeah, they were on drugs. I said he was a troubled guy, but he. They won a big amount of money. Because I was sitting there with them and I was excited too, and I remember her saying, "This isn't your money," and I was like, I thought about that for a long time after that.
And yeah, you're like, you need to say that.
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm 10.
Yeah, I'm just excited for you. I'm a kid, and you guys won money.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny that my mom put all that effort to track this guy down, and he's like, "No, I'm already having enough trouble over here."
It's so sad.
It's sad, but it's like that. It's kind of funny. Life is like that.
I just want to give you a big hug.
Well, I mean, I don't want your hug. Not during the pandemic. You can hug me when the virus goes away.
I just want to.
Which will be never.
I just want to hold you tight and tell you it's going to be okay.
Well, I know that anything coming from you is bullshit.
That's the hard part about being kind of low energy deadpan is you could try and say something heartfelt and someone will be like, "Fuck you, man." And I'm like, "What?" I was trying
That's me. We're the same guy because my whole life has been, "Are you being serious or not?" And it's like, I don't know anymore. I remember I would get in trouble in the Navy very frequently because you get reprimanded for a lot of shit because the whole hierarchy of the military is do what I tell you.
Yeah.
So if there's any departure from that, you get in trouble if you're not absolutely obedient.
Tell you to follow direct order.
So it'd be like, you went to ROTC or whatever. You never went to the military, but you get the structure. They tear you down. That's how the whole. It's an indoctrination.
Yeah, they tear you down in basic and they build you back up, and you follow their system.
And some people like me cannot be like that. So
or maybe you can for a little bit, and then at some point you're just, wait a minute.
I've been like with people that are just in a cult, and they all of a sudden go, "Oh fuck, I'm in a cult."
That's why in military school, I got torn down, and for a second I was in the system, and then one day I woke up and I was like, that guy's an asshole. I'm not listening to him just because he has a higher rank than me.
Yeah. So in the military like that.
Yeah.
But I used to be remorseful because, it's a back and forth, and it'd be like, explain yourself. And then in those situations, they'd be like, it's not the time to fuck around. And I was like, no, I'm being dead serious. I'm sorry. I don't like being in this scenario. And they're like, stop being sarcastic, Bonnell. So like, even when I'm being sincere about something, people are like, what the is this guy being sincere?
Yeah.
That's been a portion of my life too, is like, maybe the same reverting the elevator thing. The lady probably just like, is this guy just a piece of shit, or is that just how he sounds? And it's like,
wait, what was the elevator thing?
Where the casting director said I seemed disinterested before, during, and after the audition.
That's so funny. Was your manager mad at you?
No, because he understand. I knew that guy long enough that he went, You know,
You got to work on that.
he told me some shit like, just turn on a smile, man. I go, if you've ever seen me turn on a smile, we might be in a worse boat.
My favorite
that looks
story
even
of you,
more sarcastic.
My favorite story of you is going to improv classes with Greg,
Oh yeah.
where like you went there and day one they were like, all right, it's time to cluck around like a chicken, and you're like, nope, and then
Yeah.
you just walked out.
It's a little bit better than that, but that's
Oh, wait, okay, you tell it.
Well, that was the second class when the first is like intro, whatever, zip, zap, zop. Here's how improv's supposed to work. Yeah, Sam. But the second one was like, here, it's time to play. And they're like, run around like a chicken. And I was like, no, I'm not really going to do that. You know, we're in an empty room.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to do that. But there was an older lady that was obviously doing improv as her bucket list. She was very old, like 70. Her name was Mercedes, which I always found to be very funny. Everyone's acting like a chicken, and Mercedes, I'm standing by myself, and Mercedes is like, how come he's not doing it? And I'm like, mind your own business, lady.
Oh, she like ratted you out?
Yeah, he's like, why isn't he doing it? And I'm like, I don't want to do it. And then we went on break, and I went to a bar to get tacos and a beer, and I texted Greg, hey, when that class is over, just come meet me. And then I never went back.
So good. I took a class, and I remember having similar thoughts to you while clucking around like a chicken. Like, this is ridiculous. This is so crazy.
Like, how does this help me?
I can't do it. I do see why it helps you, because you're trying to embarrass yourself so that you're more fearless.
Yeah, but I'm more. I often seem I'm more scared of the no people there. When there's a full crowd, I feel completely. That's as most level as I can.
Still, but if you're exactly, you feel more scared to do that, to cluck around like a chicken. It's an uncomfortable.
In an
why
empty
am I
room.
doing this in an empty room with 5 people?
Yeah.
But if you're able to do that without hesitation, you're gonna be able to do a bigger act out in your stand up, something like that. I could see it. You know, working, doing a little bit. You know, like I don't do act outs really because I'm kind of. That's not me.
Yeah, lots of people don't do act outs.
Yeah, I don't. You know, it's like you. I just.
I saw a guy stand on his head on stage one time.
Yeah,
like,
I could never do that. But if you force yourself to cluck around like a chicken for a few months, you might be more likely to do something like that.
To stand on your head. No, I mean, I think that
I think that's why they have you do it.
I think anyone standing on their head doing stand-up comedy, not improv. Improv's a whole different thing. I get that. But in stand-up, if you're on stage upside down, then your jokes are not good enough.
Most likely not. I mean, maybe you have both. But all I'm saying
name one top-tier comedian in the world
stands on their head
that would ever be upside down on stage.
I can't name one upside down, but I can name top-tier comedians that do big act-outs.
Yeah, I'm specifically asking about one thing.
No, I can't name one that does an upside down head stand.
A fucking flip or
all
a
I'm
handstand.
saying is, I'm with you. I dreaded going to improv every week. I went every week because I paid for it. But as soon as I finished the course, I never went back because I had this anxious feeling before every class, like, oh, I'm gonna have to do some weird, embarrassing shit that makes me uncomfortable that I don't want to do.
It takes a certain type for sure.
Yeah, but
and
I
you
did
see
it.
the people that are really good at improv, and there are some.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow.
Yeah, it's impressive when someone's just like watching an impressive stand-up. But I forgot where I was going with. Oh, but I could see the benefit to.
I'm just glad I didn't pay for mine. You actually put up the money.
I paid like $600.
I maybe did something worse in scope of time invested to get those classes and then quit because I didn't just hand over some money. I interned at the theater.
Right. Yeah, but that was good. You got to know.
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
owners
saying. A great experience interning there. I continued to intern there after I quit the class. I just never did another class.
Yeah.
I think I was there for 18 months just working the door for free.
Yeah.
Because I liked being over there at Westside Comedy Theater. I liked everyone there. I made a shitload of friends just from the door thing, but I mean, improv wasn't my thing.
I get it.
And stand-up wasn't either. It turns out.
Stand-up is your thing.
The thing that I've loved most about this period, the pandemic, is that you can't fail if there is no industry. And what a fucking relief.
It is relieving.
For the last 5 months, so relieving.
That competitiveness of seeing, oh, how come I'm not doing that? Or, that it's gone.
Seeing some of the biggest comedians in the world
And the people that are doing stuff, I'm not even jealous about. Like, there's, people doing virtual shows or even drive-in shows. I'm like, cool, you do that. Go do that. I don't really want to do that.
It's fine. Yeah, keep making your money. Like Bert Kreischer doing that too.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
It's safe, and he's making a couple of younger guys money. I like that. Not into it.
Yeah, I'm not. All I'm saying is I'm not like, fuck, why am I not doing that?
Yeah, not even for 1 second for 5 months, and what a beautiful feeling. That list, normally in the comedy world, I don't know if any of your people know about this, but when the Variety's top 20 comics to watch comes out or some shit, whatever list they do in Los Angeles, these lists come out.
Yeah, Variety's top 10 comics to watch.
Whatever the list is.
That's the most recent one that came out.
I'm just saying, whatever the list is, period. When there's a list, sometimes you'll be like, oh, man, not me again. Whatever dumb shit.
Yeah.
Whatever little insecurities that comics have. But this one was like the one time like, what 2020? What? It's not even a list. Like, who cares on what 2020? There has been no 2020.
It's what else is weird? Like,
it's
there's
just
phases
it's
of
not
these
the same
lists
thing.
where I'm like, oh, I know these comics. This year I knew 2 out of the 10. 8 out of the 10 comics on the list, I was like, I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, your time's passed you by, and now there's no chance to make it.
Exactly. Now I'm like literally past the hump where I'm like, oh, these are all people who've been doing comedy way less than me.
Yeah, but I mean, the lists never matter, and if you, just like The Bachelor, all 27 seasons, not a single one of the marriages worked out.
I thought one of them did.
Maybe. I doubt it. And if you don't believe me, Google me. Yeah.
I swear to God.
None of them. Anyway, if you actually had the time to be obsessive, if you went back to those lists, you would see that some of those people are gone forever and not even working, or
aren't doing comedy.
And then you can see the biggest comedians in the world, like Bill Burr, who never got in those lists, never got into JFL, and by the time he finally went to JFL, they had to pay him $1 million. You know what I mean?
Pretty cool.
I mean, there's every version.
Right.
Just like suicide. There's so many paths to suicide, much like stand-up.
Well,
I hope there's a soundbite of just that. The last thing I just said.
I can make one.
No, don't do that.
I think I have to now.
Well, it's the shitty thing about podcasts. You could just take me out of context for 1 second and make me look like an asshole if you felt like it.
Sure. And I do. I feel like that.
There should every one of these should have a fucking clock ticking right next to your face. Oh,
so that people can't. If there's a clock embedded, then people can't fuck with you as much.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, that's how the general scope of all media works. What did Biden say that's this 1 second?
Have you seen those videos now where they take a video of you and a computer processes it, and now they could type in any word and have you say it?
Yeah.
Through sounds?
The deep fakes are crazy.
Yeah, the deep fakes.
Have you seen these things where they've slowed down Joe Biden and Donald Trump to make them sound drunk? Even ever so slightly, not even for a gag, to make them look like a drunk person in these attack ads online.
So insane.
What do we even do?
Why can't people just admit that Trump's a good guy?
I mean, because he's probably not a good guy. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The reality comes and hits you the hardest when the results are in, the actual results. And that's even questionable when the voting results come. But if he gets reelected, we're going to see a lot of people who have an idea of where we're moving and then we're almost close to victory just be completely collapsed. Your real world view will, when he got elected, people thought no fucking chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those people that thought no fucking chance that he would ever be elected, your sense of reality must be so collapsing in on itself.
So who do you think is going to win this next election?
I don't know.
If you were to guess.
I think that Trump is the odds-on favorite to win again.
And
that's presidential historically. The guy who gets the first term usually gets the second term.
Should we? Do you want to take a call? To give advice to people?
Are we calling Joe Biden?
There's people who leave calls because they want they want our input on their problems.
People leave.
Does that interest you?
People leave you.
They leave voicemails.
Oh, good.
And they go.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. I didn't want to talk to some stranger on the phone.
No.
Call your brother back. Let's talk to him.
Okay, so let's do this. Okay.
Damn, you can't just...
Hello. I wanted to know what I can do about my boss who is constantly angry, yells, criticizes my work and just leaves me feeling emotionally upset and depressed when I come home.
This is a real person?
What do you think it was?
It sounds fake. Where is that from?
What do you mean?
That guy doesn't sound sincere even for 1 second. This is not an actual guy who has a problem with his
Always see
boss.
his friends and not seeing them for a few months due to this. So I'm the type of person that has to always see his friends and not seeing them for a few months due to the stay-at-home
Who
orders
is this?
has really taken a mental toll on me. I want to know if you have any tips on what I can do to battle the loneliness that I've been feeling, or just any general advice to help me get through this.
Who is that?
His name's Justin Metz.
This is a real person that left you a voicemail?
Mhm.
This guy does not have problems and he's just bored.
He just said two of his problems.
He doesn't sound sincere to me.
So what do you think? He's just bored. I think
He's articulate, but
I think he has the same problem as you, where he was just a kind of deadpan, and people.
That didn't
so
seem
now
deadpan.
you're-
That
you-
seemed disingenuous. That's different.
So I think he was being genuous. You're just you're
Genuous.
he was being genuous, just like you were being genuous. But
Is
people
genuous a word if you take the dis off?
go genuine.
Genuine. Disingenuous.
He was being genuine, but you're like, he's,
This isn't someone you know who you had call in and leave these messages.
I don't know.
Is this true? You
Yeah.
have a weird smirk on your face.
I don't know. I don't know Justin Metz.
He left you a
That I mean.
voicemail.
Yeah.
And he has a problem with his boss. I'm going to assume that he's telling the truth and that this isn't just a setup to
What would the setup be?
just keep your podcast going and, fabricate a guest.
You're the guest.
I mean, a call. Like, what if no one called and you had to do a call every week and now you got to make one up?
There might be some truth to that.
Did you make this call up?
I didn't make it up.
You didn't make this one up.
I didn't make it. I've not made any of the calls up.
You look like such a liar sometimes. All right,
Well,
let's give him some advice.
I mean, there's a story to some of the calls, but I didn't make them up.
And this has a backstory because he sounds oddly. He
Like
sounds
I might have put the word out there that I need calls,
Oh, okay.
and people put in calls.
So he might not have a problem. He might have invented one so he can see you answer his question on your podcast.
That could be it.
All right, let's assume that he's the first one. If you're having a problem with your boss and he's being mean to you, get a different job.
Yeah, that seemed pretty clear cut to me.
And if there's a chance you can sue him and get some kind of money, look into that.
But maybe as a family, he needs a job.
But you got to move on because that shit carries over into your real
If
life.
your family loves you, they'll understand.
But also, if you stay in a job that you hate and you're carrying home this negative bullshit from your work, you're affecting your family anyway.
True.
There's a lot of people that work in offices that take their passive aggressive approach. They're passive at work and they go home and shit on their wife or something.
Amen. I like
Quit
it.
your
I
job.
Agree. I agree. Quit your fucking job. And the second one was you're lonely during the pandy.
Yeah, you're going to have to deal with that shit. We're all lonely, man. I have
everyone's dealing
someone
with the
living
same
in my
thing.
apartment with me and I'm still pretty lonely. It's crazy.
You either gotta accept two things. You either gotta become like me, an anti-masker, anti-COVID guy, and find others like that and go hang out with them, or Skype people and Zoom them. Accept that.
Being it's not anti-mask and anti-COVID. You just don't care. You're willing to take the risk. It's irresponsible.
No, I don't believe in that it's dangerous.
What? Something that
Coronavirus.
I mean, it is dangerous.
Not to me.
I mean, the scope of what you feel is impacting your personal life, that's another question.
Wait, what?
How you feel something is directly affecting you is a different question on whether or not something is actually dangerous.
Oh, I know. I'm saying I personally don't think it's dangerous.
For you.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're old or sick, different. But then they should stay at home.
I mean, there is a risk curve, obviously, but it's up to you to.
Yeah, the risk.
Even
it's
if you're
like,
being an asshole,
I have a bigger chance of dying in my car on the way home than I do of the coronavirus.
Not in this scope.
In all scopes.
No.
Yeah. Look it up. Google it.
It's not the percent. You're looking at the numbers wrong, I think.
I didn't even look at any numbers.
Well, if you say 160,000, 70,000 deaths of coronavirus this year in the United States.
No, it's more, isn't it? Over 100?
It's 170.
Oh, 170. I thought you said 70.
And then your chances of being in a car accident in a normal year where people are driving, around 40,000 people die in car accidents. So you're actually more
Only
likely.
40,000 people die in car accidents?
Yeah, 40 to 50,000.
Yeah, but now look at the age groups of the people dying of the coronavirus. How many 30-years die in a car and how many 30-year-olds
And
die
then
of
you
the
can continue
coronavirus?
on down this road until I'm right again or you're right again. That's the problem with the online. There's always an avenue to get to a way that you're right, and no one wants to really just go, I don't really have the information to talk about that. We missed out on that point of life. I missed that time of life where if we were having a conversation, you would either just have to bullshit your way through it, or each person would be like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to people just going, I don't know what the fuck. Now
It's
you
true,
get online.
and no one wants to admit, even if they're wrong, no one admits it. They just
That's
go,
always existed. Admitting when you're wrong is one of the biggest humps that a lot of people have to get over. But it's different than Googling something briefly and then asserting a dominant position as an expert. And we live right in the middle of that bullshit. Anyone can look at a little anything and go, all right, who wants to get fucked up?
Welcome to Twitter. I wanted to give you a personal thank you for coming into the studio today during the pandy.
Thank you, man. Clean it up
and
next
doing
time.
the podcast. Is it dirty?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, I forgot to turn on those lights. Oh well, it's bright enough.
Yeah, you got a great window for natural light.
Normally I turn on those two lights, but I think it'll be fine.
Damn, I didn't even get the full treatment. This guy didn't have water. Where's the camera? He didn't have water. I got here before him. I sat in here too scared to turn on the AC because I didn't know if I'd pop a breaker in this weird place or not.
What? Why would I have an AC that you couldn't use?
I don't. You let me in by myself. I'm not going to start pushing buttons.
Fair enough. That's very polite of you.
So I sat here in the hot, sweating for 9 minutes, waiting on this guy to show up. What else did you do wrong today? And he didn't turn on the lights for me so I could look pretty.
And I left my yogurt in the car during the whole podcast.
You're gonna eat it, and it's gonna kill you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me, man.
God bless.
I can't wait to be taken out of context. Have a good night. Bye. God bless.
You're listening to
Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Mannis.